So you were saying that when I saw you at Eastern Market, you're saying that that you're diving into videography. So I'm curious to know a little bit about that.
Whatchamacallit? I've been actually doing this for 3 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, so actually most of it's real estate.
Okay.
So most of it's real estate. I've been doing it started off with social media stuff, like city pictures and stuff like that, like just a basic photographer.
Yeah.
And then it just most of my clients are all real estate, so I shoot houses.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been actually starting this stuff. I've been wanting to kind of start a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've been getting more into cinematic, vlogging a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll make short videos when we go on hikes or something like that. So.
And the short videos that you make when you go on hikes, do you post them anywhere?
On my Instagram right now.
Okay.
And then I actually just started
posting. We're Instagram friends.
We should be.
Well, let's do that right now.
Oh yeah, I'm so down.
Yeah.
We should be.
What's
that's
really
Instagram?
Cool though. Thriving. It's really long. Thriving Health. I know. And then my name.
No. This is fine. It's just when you said it's really long, I pictured like a
scroll.
Yeah, the longest tag ever.
Yeah, Thriving Health, and then Erin, Erin.
Oh, that's not too bad. Let's see.
And you'll see me with the lab coat. So I need to stop. Thank you. I need to stop talking about sharks because my Instagram keeps hearing me talk about them. Because I follow travel channels and stuff like that. Like National Geographic and Globe Traveler and all that on Instagram. So a lot of those pictures, sometimes they'll be ocean pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and I guess I talk about
Found you.
Sharks too much because they're starting to show me lots of pictures.
Your ads pop up all sharks?
Well, not all, but like
is that your page?
And that doesn't.
Are you? Is it? Oh.
No.
I was like, oh my god, you're a great photographer.
No, I wish. Oh my god, that is something that I want to get better with though. Is videography and photography. Not by any means do I want to be at a professional level.
Yeah.
But just to learn very, very basic, so that way I can do my own stuff.
Yeah.
For my own website and all.
They're
that,
once you I feel like when you're running your own business, especially in the early stages, it's necessity that you should learn how to use a camera, understand lighting a little bit, because the way it's set up now, we're all so digital.
Yeah.
You have to stand out.
I've been told that they sell certain lights for $100 that will basically make you look good wherever you're at.
Yeah.
But also that you could shine just a light on a white poster board or something and create that.
Reflect it and stuff. Yeah. Sometimes you can do that. Lights, some of them are $30, bro, and they make the biggest difference.
Yeah, $30 would definitely be worth it. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to learn more about it for sure. Because, I just feel like we're at a time right now where everyone, how do I explain this? They want to see you doing stuff. It's not enough for me to just be oh yeah, I'm a dietitian and I talk to people about eating healthy. It's they actually want to see my face, hear my voice.
Yeah.
Right? They really want to try to make that connection.
Kind of just connect with you on a personal level,
right.
A little bit.
Yeah. Even if it's virtual. If it's on social media, if it's on a website, if they can feel connected to me at least in some way before they actually meet me, which I guess that makes sense if you're going to be
It really does, because imagine it's just writing.
Yeah.
It's
it's funny that you say that as if it's so archaic, and we were just at that 10 years ago.
I know, but I'm just saying, bro. When you're reading something, you're okay, it's different. Yeah. Videos to me, I'm you're kind of there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Did you know that when they first started coming out with film, that people were absolutely terrified? They showed, for example, let me explain that. They were terrified if they showed footage of a train coming, right? Or any sort of dangerous situation, people would just bolt out of the room, hide under their chairs. Yeah, because Because imagine living in a world where TV didn't exist, right? And then like so our brains basically have evolved to understand this is not real. Yeah.
That
because like imagine before TV existed, like you would just see a train coming at you.
Yeah,
like, how would you react?
You're gonna run.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 2D.
Even if it's 2D, yeah.
You know?
It's so
That's
bizarre.
Hilarious. Oh my god.
Little fun video facts for you. So I'm curious to know then if
I wonder if people are gonna like run from us.
Yeah, right. I don't think we're that scary though.
just stupid. They're like, there's people in my living room.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No.
Maybe if they're like super right wing, they'd be like, oh no.
They're like, this is too much.
This is way too much. With this this
he has a mala.
Yeah, right.
And Christmas lights.
Oh man. I feel though like we kind of scream hippie.
I'm starting to really realize that about myself. I'm like,
Did you not recognize it before?
Not really, because I'm not super. I'm not like super into myself. Like I don't think about myself that much. Like I don't walk out and be like, well, I look like this today, so I'm gonna get treated like that.
You don't think about yourself in an image way.
Yeah, I don't really have like internally. I'm not like holding so much like self-image stuff. So like I walk out and I'm just like, oh, wearing a mala, but I'm not like thinking I'm the guy with the mala.
Yeah.
But some like this guy at the ice cream shop the other day was like, man, I always see you. You're just here with your beads. I'm like, that's so interesting. Like, people, if you wear like something like that, they really look at you like. They start to look at you like you're the guy with the mala and stuff like that.
It becomes your identity.
So I'm starting to realize I'm kind of the hippie.
Yeah,
unintentionally.
I definitely have gotten that vibe from you. I think like since I've known you.
Nice.
Yeah. We're just like, oh yeah, Mike is like definitely more into like Eastern philosophy and wellness and yeah, I definitely caught that vibe. I was like, he probably has some mantras memorized.
Yeah, actually I do, man. I chant a lot, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
For how long in like one session?
I don't like sit down and do it. It's not, but sometimes I'll like, especially while I'm driving, like I listen to like a lot. Yeah, I'm just so like, I find myself like doing it. They kind of, it kind of caught me off guard because I remember like, I popped into like for my first like yoga class, like maybe like, what was it, 5 years ago or something? Then like the yoga instructor taught me like a little mantra. And then I was like, oh, that's a little weird, but I kind of like, the vibration is so nice. So like and now I'm like, I'll be driving for like an hour and I'm just like, ram. Like I'm really enjoying it. It's just so funny though. But
you're creating your own music and totally changing your energy with that.
Really, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
I have like, I'm so for it. I think chanting's so like, it's so connecting, Yeah. It's like really like, I think on a body, mind, soul level, it really just washes out so much noise, inside. So you're so like, you like start to kind of illumine a little bit just by chanting because you're taking, I don't know the mechanics behind it, but it works.
Well, I think it makes sense just like sound therapy, like Tibetan bowls, right? Like, or even just listening to music on your iPhone, right? Just like jamming out to good tunes.
Yeah.
Like, it totally changes your vibe.
You start moving a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You're really about it. Even if I'm like listening to like anything really, but it's like something is like, you start to feel like really like good.
Yeah.
Music's a crazy thing. Man.
That made me think of two things. First, so I don't have like any mantras memorized, but I do remember one of the yoga classes I went to, we sat on our mats and we chanted Om 21 times.
Wow.
And I was like 20 something. So like clearly I understood the laws of physics and all of that, but I at some point with my eyes closed was like, am I floating above my mat? Like what's happening? Completely sober, just didn't know. Yeah, and I think by chant 15 I finally opened my eyes for a second just to make sure. I was on the ground.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
But I really had a moment where I was like, I must be levitating. Like, I just felt so lifted and so...
Feels so light.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I don't know. It's so interesting because, like, you know, I always feel these things, but I never, like, talk about them. But sometimes in a yoga class or, like, during meditation, I start to feel very, like, feel good. Feel like I'm just so, like, I'm like air.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't, like... I'm just like, you know what I'm talking about?
It's interesting that you describe it as air, because for me, I go with water.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Same thing though.
But depending on your movement, yeah, because you could either see that as like fluid, or with air, I think of it as almost like more like, like light and like bounce with you, like almost like bounce with the movement. And with water too, I think of like very fluid, like interconnected movements. It all just kind of flows.
It's just so like.
Yeah. That's so great.
It's amazing though. I just find sometimes I'm like I laugh a little because I'm like, man, maybe like someone's in there and they're like it's their first time, because the instructor won't tell it really, like they don't talk about that stuff so much, but maybe someone's first time they're like.
What the hell? Like, you're talking like with just like their cues and the mantra and all that, the philosophies.
No, that stuff, but the actual like once it kind of the vibration starts kind of hitting them, they start feeling more like airy. They're not used to it. They're like, I feel good, but a little scared. You know what I mean?
A little scared. What is this hippie witch doctor
what's happening
stuff?
to me?
That's so amazing.
It's all so beautiful though. How long have you been practicing?
I've been practicing yoga on and off since I was like 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of young. How old are you now?
I'm 30 now.
Wow, really? Damn.
Yeah.
15 years, 16 years of yoga.
Yeah, on and off. So like when I was in college, you know, it was tough to find time for it. So sometimes it would only be, you know, like 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually was first introduced to me through a ballet teacher, and I just thought it would be good for me to be a better dancer for like flexibility.
You did ballet and stuff too? Oh wow.
Yeah, I did ballet and modern or like contemporary, if you've heard of that before. It's like when you're dancing almost like you're it's more fluid and it's more like abstract.
Okay.
Like moving like, and now I look like a tree, and like it's like more that's a simplistic way of looking at it, but yeah, basically it's not so rigid like ballet is. It's more free form.
Okay.
So that was my favorite. And then I did like jazz, which is usually what you see in, you know, different, like when you think of dance, you normally think of jazz, like the leaps and turns and all of that stuff. And, like, very like showy. And then hip hop too. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into hip hop dancing. It looks so cool.
There are, I don't know if they have classes right now, but there's one in Madison Heights that I actually have been wanting to check out, and I've been like nervous to. So if you want to go with me as like another beginner, because I think they dive a little bit into breakdancing as well.
Okay.
And I obviously would have to like start, you know, with total novice moves, but I would. Me, you
and me both. But it just looks so. You ever see like videos and they're like. They're so coordinated. Yeah. I'm like, that's amazing. Look at that.
Yeah, for sure, sure. But that, I think, just like showing, just from you saying that shows me like that interconnectedness between yoga and dance, and just that the power of movement in general, and how it goes so much more beyond the physical, that it can really help you feel attuned to your surroundings, help you feel grounded and centered, and really boost your emotional and mental health as well.
Oh, 120%. That, just when you said that, it reminded me of this thing I read in like one of Eckhart Tolle's books. He was saying like, you know, sometimes like, you know, when a rush of like anger is coming or something, or like an emotional flood starts kind of flooding your system.
Emotional flood, I dig that.
You know, you're like...
Yeah.
You know, you're really like, you're like, oh my God. Externally, you're like, inside, you're like, oh. You're like, don't.
That's when I'll know, like, oh no, I pissed him off. If you're just like,
I'm just like,
you start playing with your beat.
That's exactly what's funny is that's exactly how Brian looked. But he was saying the like when a duck or something gets in like, you know, if like something scares a duck or a bird or something. I'm butchering it a little bit.
When they're in fight or flight mode?
Yeah, when they're in fight or flight mode, or like right after the whole thing's kind of over, like a duck will like, you know, flap its wings like really aggressively for like 20, 30 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And then he was saying like something like how that's like its release of energy.
Yeah.
You know, so just when you were saying like the movement thing, I think like walking, like yoga is really interesting, but any sort of movement, exercise in general, it's just, you know, you're letting really your energy come in, come out.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like if your body's stagnating, those emotions and energies will kind of like build inside your system in the body. They'll stick around for longer because you're not like moving to like release them. So
right.
That's what it made me think about, which is like really interesting.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I was thinking the other day about how much time, you know, because I've been building my website and, you know, networking a lot online. And I've been thinking about how much I've just been sitting staring at a screen. And I thought about, or my phone, if I, you know, whatever. And I thought about, what if we took that screen out? Like, what would that look like to like an alien? Like, as humans, imagine that we take those screens out and we just replace it with the wall, right? And aliens are looking at us. They'd be like, this species is so, like, they're dormant. Like, you know what I mean? They're just sitting staring at walls all the time.
That's interesting.
Like, because to your body, that's what it is. You're just stagnant. Yeah. You know? So,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, from a just purely physical body place.
Right, for sure. But also, yeah, but also like spiritually too, it is the idea of like the energy is kind of stagnant. Yes, your mind is going, but you're not moving, you know, your lymph around and your, you know, the joints, you know, you're not fully, the circulation isn't flowing as well. So I think that's another reason why movement is so important, is just because in our current society, the way that things are set up, sometimes it's so easy to become stagnant for long periods of time. So I think it's even more so important that we encourage and we talk about movement, you know, that we incorporate it in however we can.
Because we're always like just kind of like sitting there like you said, like it's really like, I try my best to like stay away from it, but it's really catches you, you know, like Instagram, like YouTube, like I'm watching like TV too. Right. Like it's kind of like all around us, but also like sometimes I've been like so like adamant, like on vacation or something, or like if I go out for a hike, leave my phone in the car. Yeah. But in my apartment, it's a little tough. I actually had a TV in here. My friend moved and she gave me her TV. It was like this like 60-inch like.
Oh wow.
You know, and I like came in and I like, put it on the ground, and I was like, I kind of just sat in the same spot for like 5 days, and every time I'd walk around it, I'd be like, it doesn't feel right. So I gave it away because I was like, it just doesn't. I didn't like having a TV in the space. Yeah. Because I was like, it really, kind of comes out. From my perspective, it's a little bit of a distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, from my perspective, I mean, I'm not saying TV's bad or anything like that, but it comes because you know you're just kind of numbing yourself out for like a couple hours. But I mean, from you know the way I look at it, I'm like, well, I could be using this time much more in a more joyful and you know graceful way, much more like you know what I'm talking about, like I could be like, you know, maybe doing yoga, meditating, walking, talking to somebody like a human being, really like more wholesome activities. I'm not saying TV's bad like in general, but I feel like repetition and habitual like every day, I was like, I used to be like that, and I'm like, it's very distasteful a little bit.
I understand.
You know,
I think that, TV has definitely become such a huge part of our society. And I was hanging out with a friend the other day, and he just mentioned how he got a new TV and how it was set up in the room, like just like, you know, right in front of the couch, and how that's how a lot of us live. And even if that is how someone wants to set up their home, by all means, like, go for it. I wish you well. I want you to enjoy life in whatever way that you find joy. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting, like, how we've become so disconnected from realizing that it is just sitting and looking at a screen. And how you mentioned then, like, for you just decided to just get rid of it. And I think for some people, it's just to keep in mind the things that they do enjoy, things like yoga or dance or whatever it is. Because sometimes we think of movement as like a chore, right? It's exercise, it's working out, it's work. But then when you find something that you actually are really passionate about, it brings you that sense of joy that the TV would. It gives you that sense of distraction, if you will, or that sense of numbing, if you will.
Yep.
I mean, how many times have you been in Shavasana and corpse pose at the end of a rigorous or a embracing practice of yoga, and you're just like totally zenned out?
Yeah. And
so
like you kind of fall in love with it too. I was just that kind of just as you were talking, I was like thinking a little bit. I was like, man, you're gonna kind of go where your heart is.
Yeah.
Like I was like the other day or something, I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, man, if somebody told me like I couldn't like watch like satsang or like meditate or do yoga for like a week, that'd be like torturous for me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, because sometimes I'll be like watching like a little bit of Netflix on my iPad, and then I'm like, I don't know, I kind of just want to sit quietly. Like it kind of starts to become like, you'll go where your heart is,
Right.
So when your heart's kind of in like doing like a practice or like, exercising, like I love it, like moving, like I like almost like every day I'm like, I want to go like move, exercise, bike ride, something. But I think you'll definitely go where your heart is. Like that's like, that's the truth. So I'm not super like, when someone's just kind of around like doing whatever, I'm like, all right, do your thing. Eventually, you'll get sick of it. You'll come out kind of on your own,
Right. I think it's not only where your heart is, but also what habits you've created too, right? Like you mentioned, if someone took away yoga and meditation and your mantras for a week, you'd feel just like you'd be going bonkers.
Deprived, yeah.
Yeah, you'd feel deprived. Exactly. And so I think when it comes to changing lifestyle habits, including like diet, like if someone were to tell someone that was drinking pop every day for the past, 2 decades, you can't have pop for a week, they're going to feel deprived. They're going to feel like,
true.
It's really about like just shifting those habits, and the way that we shift those habits long term is really changing your identity. So for example, you identify as someone that enjoys movement, right? As you put it, where your heart is at.
Yeah.
Right? Your identity, where your heart is at.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy moving, and so you make sure that you keep it in your life. Whereas if you just said, okay, well this week I'm going to make sure I do 30 minutes of exercise 3 days this week, right? That isn't going to be as impactful long term as saying I am someone that keeps movement consistently in my life. Right? It's like, or for example, like someone that's quitting smoking. If they just say like, oh, I'm not going to have a cigarette tonight at the party.
Yeah.
That is very different and a lot harder to say no to someone when they offer a cigarette than to just say, I'm not a smoker.
That's definitely, that's the truth. Yeah. And it really, you're right, you're 100% right. The root of it is like where you're identifying. Mm-hmm. Like where the root is the identity,
Yeah. For sure.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah. Now you mentioned like where your heart's at. I wanted to mention to you that, have you heard of dance meditation technique?
No.
Okay, or they call it DMT. But it's actually hosted in Detroit. I don't know if they're doing it just via Zoom.
I have. Yeah. I've seen it a little bit.
Michael or something?
I forgot, but I have heard of it. I forgot who. Somebody told me about it.
Yeah.
But it looked really cool. Maybe I saw a flyer or something like that. Maybe. I think in a coffee shop. But continue anyways.
I was just gonna say I would definitely check that out. Because I think that's something that you would really, really enjoy.
Honestly, I'm down.
So I've only been once. I don't know why I didn't go again. I don't know.
Whoa, wait, you've been?
I did.
How was it?
It was so good. I went years ago, back when I was working at Whole Foods.
Okay.
And
by the way, I do miss you working at Whole Foods.
I miss me working at Whole Foods too. It was seriously like one of my favorite jobs. And like, who knows, maybe I'll be working again for them as a dietitian at some point. That would be really cool. But we'll see.
I miss walking
in the little
supplement
body section.
Yeah. And then you'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
Just pop out the corner. I'm like, yeah.
I felt like I was everywhere in that store all the time. I loved it. Oh my god, I loved it. And the people, the regulars, the customers are just so fantastic.
I don't know what it is about that store, man. When you walk in, everyone's like cheery.
It's vibing.
Yeah. They're like bombarding you with oxygen when you walk in or something. Then they're like, come on in. Our prices are so high.
You're supposed to know about that.
Huh? You're the one doing it. You're like,
as opposed to it like casino style where it's like implemented in the ceiling. It's just like the Whole Foods coworkers just blowing oxygen at people.
Oh, there's something to say about that, man. Especially I went to Las Vegas and then, not like we weren't really hanging out in the strip, but our hotel was in the strip.
Yeah.
It was like for work or something. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like walking around in the casinos and then I don't gamble or like drink or anything like that, but I was just like sitting there. I was like, this place feels really good in here, man. Like, and I think it was really that. Like, their temperature, the oxygen, their lighting sucked, but it was nice, bro. It just felt good to be in there. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. It was like trippy as hell.
It is definitely, the oxygen is a huge part of that. And the bright lights and everything, and it's just like, it's setting off all of the, the happy areas
like
of
dopamine,
the brain. Yeah,
it's
dopamine,
like
serotonin, all of that stuff. Or just like having a party. So, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, dance meditation technique. Highly recommend to check out.
So what's up with this program you have coming up?
Oh, for Eat, Breathe, Thrive?
Yeah.
The food and body image program, I keep calling it. Yeah, so it is an interesting program. I'm really, really excited to be teaching it.
Ooh.
It's for people that are struggling with body image satisfaction. So body image dissatisfaction, body image dysmorphia.
What's dysmorphia mean?
Dysmorphia means that you don't see what is actually there. So like you look in the mirror and you might see yourself as much larger than you are, for example. Yeah. And then it's also for individuals with disordered eating. And what I mean by that is, so there's a difference between eating disorders and disordered eating. Eating disorders, full-blown eating disorders, are things like anorexia, bulimia, right? And those things when people are having these, when they're at their severe state or they're having active behaviors in them, like restricted eating or things like that, they usually have to be hospitalized. Okay. Disordered eating is like binge eating.
I'm not smiling at that. I'll keep going.
No, you're good. You're good. I figure it's just whatever I said is. It's kind of
it's like making sense. Yeah. No, it's making sense a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy you're like working in this and stuff like that. But keep going.
Me too. Yeah.
I like learning, so I keep going.
Yeah. I love those moments in life where you're just like, I actually had that when you were checking to see if like the lighting and everything was right. I don't know if you caught it, but I was just like at this moment where I was like looking down at the cup and I was just like, God, this is so cool.
I like learning. Like that's why it like makes me happy. But keep going.
Anyway, so disordered eating is going to be things like, binge eating, emotional eating, like who doesn't struggle with that in our current society, and like yo-yo dieting, fad dieting. So disordered eating kind of covers like a large umbrella of individuals. So this program is for people with disordered eating, so like the binge eating, emotional eating, all of that, and or body image dissatisfaction. So it's really about trying to cultivate a positive relationship with your body and the way that you view yourself physically. But it's so much more than that. It's also building a healthy relationship with food if you feel like you have a messy relationship with food. Yeah. And also building emotional resilience, which especially like in the world that we live in, like how important is emotional resilience and mindfulness. Oh my God. And
it's more important now than it is than ever.
Right. And the ability to self-soothe. Like that is just so important.
That's the difference between, I think, like a really just that little thing is the difference between like someone being like having a happy life and like a life that is like just not happy.
Yeah.
That little difference, you know, emotional resilience. Okay, so Sony has a record limit of 30 minutes.
Oops.
So the camera cut off 30 minutes in, but I hope it was informative and useful. Erin has a couple of awesome like things coming up. She's an amazing dietitian.
Thank you.
Just tons of experience. And she's super passionate and loves what she does, and it shows in her work.
Thank you.
Very visibly.
Thank you.
So, you want to talk about like what you have coming up and stuff like
that?
Oh,
yeah, for sure. Thank you. Well, first, thanks for meeting with me today. This is super fun.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. As far as what I've got going on, so 2 different things. The first thing is called Eat, Breathe, Thrive, which we talked a little bit about. I call it the Food and Body Image Program. It's all about emotional resilience, mindfulness. It is yoga-based. There's group discussion. There's a sense of community. That is actually starting September 30th.
Okay.
And so registration is going to close soon. So what I highly recommend is for people to, follow the links that we'll list below for Eat, Breathe, Thrive if you're interested. And there's some really great, because I know right now, there's some financial insecurity for some of us going on. So there are some really great scholarships available too.
Okay, awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so definitely check that out. And then the second thing that I have is ongoing nutrition coaching I do online. So from the comfort of your own home, you can actually meet with a dietitian and talk about healthy eating. I actually do monthly coaching. Okay. As opposed to just like the one and done.
One session. You told me about that. And like it's super fair and affordable, man.
Thank you.
For what you're really getting, like you really get to sit down with the dietitian one-on-one, and she's so like focused on like, specifically you. It's really catered to you.
Thank you.
Or anyone that wants it.
I try to keep it very personalized, very tailor-made. I think of myself almost as like a personal dietitian assistant versus just a dietitian, honestly, at this point, because I get to really connect with my clients. I check in with them every day. Yeah. And I have an open door policy. So my clients, we don't just talk during sessions, but they're able to reach out to me with any sort of questions, whether they're at the grocery store and they're trying to read a food label, or they saw this crazy article or this blog online and they don't know what to make of it, or whatever it is. So I really enjoy the work that I do and being able to connect with people and
I'm so excited.
Thank you. And people in the health and wellness realm, and that's why meeting with you today was so great.
Yeah, this is so cool, man. I'm so I'm just so happy for you, really. I really am.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for your channel too.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. Obviously, you're the star of the channel.
Yeah, and then where do people find you then?
MomentSphere on the YouTube channel, Instagram, same thing at MomentSphere. Sphere. Not fear.
Not fear.
But so that's super cool. I'm really excited about it. We'll just see how it plays out. I'm gonna be like, maybe some vlogs will come or something. I really like these sit down things, or
I'm all about this.
Especially with I like it. I like these Christmas lights.
Yeah, right. Keeps it fun, keeps it festive.
Hell yeah. So I'm really excited about what you have coming up. I'm super happy for you.
Thank you. Ditto, man.
Human being. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching it. If you've made it this far, like I said, Sony had that 30-minute record time that I completely forgot about. So we missed about 25 minutes of this. But I think 30 minutes was good. Thank you so much for tuning in. Push that subscribe button. And hope to see you soon on the next film. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was good.
Not super dark, but it's cloudy out. It's like forecast or overcast. I guess I'm confused. Like, I'm so confused. Like, how do you know if it's picking it up? Where are you hearing it from? Is there a speaker on there?
No.
God, technology is so weird to me.
I think I should be in focus.